Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're going to explore together how we want to wrap our soaps that we've been making so that we can give them as gifts. So I practiced on these three. What's cool about this is that I have lots and lots of these little plastic sleeves that I use on greeting cards that I make, right? I used to be able to put these cards into different shops, right, prior COVID. So some of those businesses are no longer in business and others are not really carrying a lot of stock. So all that to say is that I have a bunch of sleeves, right? Already had them on hand. And they're just like regular cellophane, so that once I put them on, I use some clear packing tape on the edges, and then I'm able to put the heat gun to it and shrink it. So I haven't shrunk any of them really hard, but look at that. I mean, it does seal it, right? So that's pretty cool, right? I did all the shapes. Of course, the block was the easiest. And then I didn't do this one because I didn't want to crunch any of the top. So in addition to that, I went and dug out all the different tags, labels that I had. So I have all kinds here. Oh, that's going to be for a birthday sign. Shh, don't say anything. It's a surprise. Oh, I got to put it somewhere to keep it safe. So I have all these different labels, right? Because I want to put somewhat of an ingredient list. I'm not really good at that. I haven't done that before, but I did do a little bit of research. So I have created one for between the rebatching and then the pour, the melt and pour. So I did the best that I could with the ingredients. So I'll have that little sticker on there, as well as, oh, I got to name the soaps, y'all. So, you know, like surprise, anything with an animal in it is called surprise, right? Because they're fragrance free, just because they're going to children. I didn't want any allergic reactions. There is some scent, like for the roses, right? So we'll get to that part as we label them. But I did dig out all kinds of labels, and I'm going to just use shipping labels. I have like a whole page of labels, and I have this. It's just like a mailing label, right? So I have all kinds to choose from. But I think it would be easiest. I thought that would make a nice, like a gift tag, right? And so with this, for the florals, to make a gift tag, I thought that'd be pretty. So I want to do it in stages so that I get really good at one stage, at one piece of the puzzle. So basically, I'm just going to start by putting the soaps into the sleeves. And again, I have literally a whole tub full. So I think we'll be able to, there's one of my labels, right? So I used to make and put on there. I don't think I'll be able to use this. I don't know if it'll come off, but we'll see. But that might be something I can cut off. We'll see if I can salvage that. So anyways, let's just sort of start. And what I found is that, like for these bigger ones like this, what I did is I took it, because it has that sticky for when I put the cards in there, and that's what would seal it. Usually this didn't fit the whole card, so I usually did already split one side. But if you take and go down one seam, watch this, it'll just split apart. Now if you go crazy, it will go crooked on you. But now I have like this, and there's all kinds of rolls and things that you can buy. But again, I was trying to use something I had on hand. So here's this one, right? And basically, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to roll it, I'm going to get the size that I want, so I want to pull it down a little bit. Just a little bit too much. I want it to be able to have a little bit of an overlap, so I'm going to push it back until I get the size that I think And then I'm going to cut it, right, just to make it easier to handle. So I have a nice little gap there. So I'm going to turn it, see, I can see my line underneath my wax paper. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. I'm just eyeballing it, because once you shrink it, you can't tell if I cut it straight or not anyways. And it is a small one, but we have some small little soaps over there. All right, this is an abnormally large one. Normally I would get like 2 out of 1 sleeve. And I think I can get 2 of these in 1 sleeve. We'll find out here in a short while. But once I get to this stage, I actually have a piece over here torn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the center to decide which way I want to be the top, what I want to be the bottom. I'm going to let the white be the top. And again, it's going to have a sticker on the front and the back. I do want it to be in the center. I'm going to wrap it just like a package, y'all. And you'll see here in just a second. So this will just help it stay put as I'm shrink wrapping it. See if I can find my end. I try to turn it down when I cut it. There it is, just the tiniest little corner right there. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to cut just a couple pieces, because this doesn't like fold and lay flat like a paper would, right? Like if you're wrapping a real package. So this basically, you got to get it to do what you want it to do. And you need about 2 more hands. So I'm just going to cut these so that I can put them in the different areas. All right, let's see if that's enough. And basically, I'm just going to fold it in, fold the back side down. I want to fold the top side up. See how it gives me that? And then right here, that's where I want to put this tape. And I'm going to do it long ways, because I don't want it to come apart. And again, remember, I'm going to have a label here and a label here, right? Ingredients, and then like what the name is. So again, I'm just going to push it in, push the back down, pull the front up and over to the back, and then take this long ways and right there. And there's our little package. Isn't that cute? I mean, if I just stopped there, I would be okay with that. But I'm not going to stop there. So I still have my husband's seat gum. He hasn't asked for it back. So there you go. Shh, don't tell him I have it. So I do want to move that out of the way. So watch how fast. See, it's already, look at there. It's already just shrink wrapping. This one I can go pretty tight on, right? And then even do the top, flip it over, and then that's it. You're done. Now, what I have seen folks do is immediately after they do that, they rub like that seal edge, because if there's any kind of pokies, right, anything that's not smooth, it'll round it out. Look at that. Who would have ever thought you could do that at home? I'll be golly geez. Look at that. Look at that. Is that pretty cool? Once we put the labels on there, it's going to look like maybe I bought it. I don't know. I'm going to do this a little bit more, because I can see those layers. And I know from the other ones. And the other thing they do is they put a glove on their hand. I don't know that I have a glove. I guess I could get the thing that we use for our smoker out there, our pit boss, right? Because that's like for heat. Go ahead and immediately do this. Much better. Much, much better. And there, look at that. So that means it'll stay sealed. Humidity can't get to it and hurt our project. I love it. Okay. I've got a bajillion to do. And that's not even what's on the little drying cart. And then I have all the palm olives. So, and I have all of these. We'll be here for a little while. Okay. I'm going to take you along for the ride. Watch what we learn how to do together. That one's kind of small, but if we ever did a small one, it would come in handy. Let's see. I'm thinking this is not going to fit. I'm okay with that. But I wanted to see if like this one would fit. Like maybe if we put it this way, would it? Oh. It would be close. I'm not going to fuss with it that much. Let's see, what about a real thin one? Nope, not even that one. Okay, enough time with that one, so I'll go find another sleeve. And tra-la-la day, here we go. We're going to keep on packaging. Just using these little sleeves that I had for my cards and just creating little, because they do shrink wrap, so I'm just going to bundle up a bunch and then we'll move on to the labels. While we wait for our ends to completely dry out, because once you cut that little piece off, then you have more drying time you need to do. It did appear that these, like this is a pretty teal color. You can start to see that teal come out. So I'm just going to let these dry completely. I'm not going to rush them. But I want to go ahead and give some of these soaps away. So I have one with a bear in it. I had the Palmolive one, and then I have another one that I'm going to give to another grandchild. So that one has an animal in it too, but not as much, more soap. So what I want to do is, I got to thinking my labels may not stick well to the cellophane. So I decided just to create like a what they call the belly band. And I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I thought, well, it's another experiment, so I'm just taking you along in my learning journey here. So let's see. That was my fear. It doesn't. I need to flip this around. See how it didn't go all the way. It didn't cut it all the way to the end. I didn't have that set up quite right. Easy fix. So these will be those are not the ingredients in what we're giving away. So now that will be better. I don't think we'll use a whole belly band for these ingredients, but we might, so I don't know. So that's why I wanted to just have them in play. So I'm going to make sure that I have something to line my edge up with. You could cut this by hand if you don't have a cutter. I have several of these. They come in handy. All right, there's our little scraps. They're drying out nicely. Probably will figure out a way to use those out in the chicken coop. The green ones, they say if you rub on the like the frames and around the openings on the outside of the chicken coop, it'll help keep flies and mosquitoes away. Huh, we'll try it. Okay, so I'm thinking I kind of like these ideas right here, how to present my soap. I did decide that I'm going to go ahead and put this cellophane tape over them because being an inkjet, if that were to get wet, it would immediately make a mess. My husband likes the bands more than just the little labels, so I will go with the bands. I actually gave 3 away today, and they were well received, so that felt good. Obviously not Christmas, but for another gift-giving occasion. So what I'm going to do is I have some of these, and what I did is I just cut out a square and used the band. So I'm going to cut these up, and then I'll show you kind of my thought process as I go through these. I'll have to print some more of these out, but I wanted to go ahead and show you with what I had. So I'm lining it up on the line so that I can have a nice straight line over here. It just looks better. I did try freehanding it, and I'm back to the cutter. All right, woo! I have been working up a storm trying to come up with what would be like a good technique to help preserve our soaps. So what I came up with was to use the plastic bags that I had. I started out using this packing tape, but I found that just plain old cellophane tape worked also. And instead of rewrapping everything, it's got another layer underneath it. But I'm going to go ahead and just, and by being that clear and shiny, it just sticks. Right? So there, that's what they look like. So this did evolve over time. And what I mean by that is I experimented with cutting strips at different widths, and I'll show you what those look like. I have a few left to do. I experimented with cutting the verbiage different widths, and I'll show you what that means. But just to give you an idea, so when I create this verbiage on the computer, it just looks something like this. I went and I figured out what my ingredients were, and I just did a double column, and so I get a whole bunch on one sheet. I did the same thing with like the little different cutesy names that I came up with, right? And then I'm taking just regular typing paper to create the strips. So again, I'm trying to create something that's economical, something that hopefully most folks have on hand. You might not have these little card plastic sleeves on hand, but you can use the rolled cellophane. I'll get a picture. I have one sitting right over there. Or you can use those bags, the shrink bags from the Dollar Tree, and just cut pieces that would work. It's the ones that came out very thin, I turned it into a 3-pack. Look at that. How fun is that? This is the ingredient side because it's the same. And so I'm just going to right there. Go ahead and put this one on this side. Okay. On there, press it down. If you don't put the tape on there, this is just an inkjet. That's what I have. If you had a laser, probably a laser printer, it would probably be different. But I have an inkjet. So I did that to prevent the ink from messing up on these labels. Even for this end piece, still came out kind of cute. And I just put this on there to keep it from fluttering up into my tape. See what I mean about making them different widths? Kind of takes care of that problem. And let's see if this is cut a little wide, so I'm just going to go 2 rows of tape. That way I'll catch both the top and the bottom. Came out kind of cute. last one. Shoot, doggies. All right, so let's go over. Oh, we only had a very few of these left. How about that? So let's just recap. What did we do? So we made the soap. We made two kinds of soap. One with a glycerin base and one rebatch with regular soap. So we decided to do a couple different colors and flavors. We embedded some little toy animals in some of the glycerin, right? That's our surprise soap. We embedded roses and lavender in these, right? And they smell really, really nice. Then we have these that we also put roses and lavender, but we also put oatmeal in there, right? Just so that it's a nice, healthy facial scrub, right? So we have all of these. I'm tired, y'all. We have all of these. And then we have these unique shapes. So we started out using this roll of cellophane tape. I soon found out that this cellophane that you can just get at a regular box store or the Dollar Tree, wherever, works just as well. I used plastic sleeves that I had in my stash, right, that I stored cards in back in the day when I made and sold cards. Again, you could use like the roll cellophane, and I will put a picture at the end, or those shrink what would go around a basket, so the shrink bags from Dollar Tree. Let's see, the peeler, that really came in handy. That helped me to clean up the ends, as well as on these little discs, right? Helped me to clean that up, because what I found is that the rosebuds actually turned the soap like a darker color, right? So something to keep in mind last time for another time. Just a simple knife to slice, because we put them in these trays, remember, when we poured them, but we had ends. So then to straighten up the edge, the end, I just cut a little bit off, right? What was left over is going out in the chicken coop to keep mosquitoes away. I did come up with gluing the little labels on before I put the cellophane tape. It just helped my labels to stay in place and not move all over the place. So that was a good thing. All this was just printed out on my computer, right? Just a regular old inkjet printer, right? So, I mean, how about that? I did borrow an industrial heat gun from my husband's man cave, but that actually came in really, really came in handy. Let's see. I would definitely use these molds again to make soap. Right? I like the glycerin better than the rebatching. Why? Because rebatching was just harder, right? All I had to do was melt and pour. I would like to do glycerin in these little containers that I have here. All right, I filled it with plastic and then poured the soap in there. I like these shapes, right? These seem to be the nice little gift size shapes. I mean, these were okay for the glycerin. Didn't really like them for the rebatching. Didn't seem to hold the shape as well, right? It shrunk is what it did. So this was poured like that. There's 3, right? And they just seem to shrink. Not sure what all that was about. If it was something I did or something else. I did try using some hard molds, right? The really firm molds, which were these. I love the little detail on the front, but they were really hard to get out, right? And then these shapes, they were hard to get out also, the geometric shapes. So by far my favorite is these plastic little things that I just got at the Dollar Tree. line the inside with just plastic wrap, and then pour. And I do prefer the glycerin over the rebatching. Now I do like this color now that it dried, right? It wasn't that pretty when we put it in, right? But it's turned out a really pretty color actually, and the smell is delicious. So all in all, I'd say this project is a win-win, right? I've already given one of these and a couple of these away, and the recipients were very, very pleased. So that's always a good thing, right, when you're making something. Phew! Well, this will finish up our Christmas in July for 2023. So this is number 25. How about that? I wasn't sure I'd be able to pull it off, but we did it. We learned all kinds of things together over the last few weeks, and it was a pleasure. I'm so glad that you've joined me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite project that we did? And it's not that I'm out of ideas. I actually have some more Christmas gifts that we're going to be making over the next couple weeks, right? Things that need to marinate, right, for weeks on end. But this will finish up this series for this time. Again, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, y'all, and it'll be in a week this time. Happy crafting.